As you all know, this is Between Two Beards with my lovely friend Tagadesh and our lovely guest, BeardedBogle.
It's me! Thank you for having me. According to my Discord, I'm actually on the left side, so Haggard is between two beards. Is the same.
Well, on my screen, I'm between two beards, and I couldn't be happier.
So we're all between, it's one sort of big
It's a tangle of beards.
beard.
Is that what multiple, like where, geese or gooses are geese, or
You mean like a
Crow.
murder of crow? Like
right,
the,
exactly, yeah. We're a tangle of
a
beards.
tangle of beards? That seems
Yeah.
painful.
Well, I mean, that's all I've got. If you were expecting more, then
We weren't expecting more from you.
I am.
That was
I
it.
am
That was it, folks.
here.
That's
all we
it.
got.
Thanks.
It was fun to have you all here. Let's
So what is it like? Well, I'll just start off with like the most difficult question here.
do that. I'm here.
What is it like?
But are you
being-
really here?
I'm God damn it, don't do that to me. now I'm not sure anymore.
I mean,
No,
maybe
I'm
maybe
here now,
maybe
I'm
you should
not
check
sure.
the stream and just make sure that you're visually acceptable. Maybe your jacket's out of place.
Dude, I'm always visually acceptable.
Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. You're not looking at the stream right now?
I am not. I'm looking at chat and I'm looking at your lovely faces.
You should look at the stream.
Oh, god damn it, I should look at the stream. Okay. Hey, Archon. You want to be famous? You're getting a ball
Whoa,
break.
look at all those people.
Hey, Ham Taro, welcome.
Oh, I like
Yeah, that's
Hamtaro.
Jesus Christ, they are
my
coming in
favorite-
hot.
My favorite Japanese hamster.
Yes, mine too.
Holy shit, they are relentless this morning. God damn it, RTM, leave your friends at home.
So the first question is, oh motherfuck. So I told these a-holes that I wasn't looking at the stream but just at chat. I guess
We
they-
should have left it the whole time.
that looks- you know what? That actually reminds me of someone I know.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you?
No,
No.
no.
All right. We'll fix it.
Good stuff.
All right.
You were gonna start us off with a nice question, Mr. Haggard.
Yes. So, what is it like being the most famous streamer in all of the Netherlands?
Yeah, inquiring minds
I'm not
want to
answering
know.
any questions until I can see my face on your stream.
You're 5 seconds behind.
There we go. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
Dealing with these celebrity types.
What
I tell
is
you
it
what.
like to be the most?
Where's my
famous
mineral
streamer
water?
in the Netherlands? I guarantee. We were talking about this earlier. I guarantee you that I am not the most famous streamer in the Netherlands. I also have no idea who is.
Right.
So I guess they're not that famous. Probably
Exactly.
some Fortnite teenager. God,
Yep.
could I
God.
sound more
It's
old
fish.
than that? It's
It's fish.
Oh god, maybe I should have laughed that hard. Because I don't know, she's threatened to stab me on multiple occasions now, and she knows where I live. So
Who's
Be-
too busy to even show up here right now? No, I'm just-
For real.
I do that sometimes when Bear comes in the chat, and then I'm like, "Hey, at least you're here. Fish isn't here." And then Clockwork is like, "Fish in chat, oi, fuck you." It's like,
Okay, second most
Okay.
difficult question.
yes.
Who is your favorite mod?
Oh damn it! That's the one thing that I didn't want to talk about. I have
Oh,
one.
see? The hard-hitting
Because of course I have one. It's like I don't have kids, right? But if I had kids,
You'd have
I
a
would have a
favorite.
favorite kid.
Absolutely.
I would never tell my kids who the favorite kid is. So I'm not
Right,
going
but
to tell
they
them.
know. They know.
I mean, they
Yeah.
should.
Yeah, the one who sleeps under the stairs, the little asshole. Yeah, obviously not him.
I don't know. I don't have my mods sleep. Come on. They
There you
gotta be
go.
awake.
Especially for those 24-hour streams.
There we go. Mhm.
Is that kid also a wizard? No, he is not.
Also a wizard.
The only thing he can sling is shit.
That's a lot of assumptions you're making about my hypothetical children.
It sounds like he fantasized about it often.
BeardedBogle.
I have a difficult question for you, Haggard. See, I'm turning it around on you. You didn't expect that, did you? I noticed that for Archulm's
Can we mute him?
for Archim's episode of It Wasn't Called Between Two Beards at that point, you were wearing a tie, and you're not wearing one for me. What the fuck?
Okay, I didn't wear one
Question
last
mark.
week either.
I mean, the lady didn't show up. Of course not.
Just like Seek was wearing a regular shirt the last 2 weeks, and now he's wearing something nice.
See? No tie? Tie.
I'll throw
I mean,
a tie on over my
I'm
hoodie.
not wearing a tie. I'm just saying there's a difference, and I can see it.
See, I wore a nice button down.
I also like that during Archulm's episode you mentioned that, you know, or I think he said that he was on as the first guest because you start alphabetically. And I think at the time I was supposed to be the second one.
Yes.
So
You were
next,
supposed to be, yes.
next we're ignoring Lady Game God. Next time you have
I'm
to
sorry,
have a streamer with a C.
Let me just correct you right there. That last week for the fill-in episode was Lady Omega.
That's true.
Lady Game God's on tomorrow.
Right.
I'm very excited about that. Very excited.
Also, RTM is here, as you can see.
That is true, and he's never looked better.
Oh my god.
Ah,
Okay. But for seriousness, I have a legitimate question.
yeah, Haggard. Seek's trying to do a good job here. Come on.
I want to know the origin story because, see, I met you through RDM Havoc, and
Yes.
from what I understand, you were one of his inspirations into streaming. So I want to know what inspired you to start streaming.
He said that. That's way too kind of him.
But it's honest.
Yeah, I think Seek, you and I became aware of each other, not at or due to Save and Raid, but I think before
Prior,
that already,
yeah.
but not prior to that.
We definitely got
Haggard,
more
I know-
involved.
Yeah, oh for sure. Haggard I know through Save and Raid. So I started streaming a little over a year ago. That's definitely not the sort of the start of. That's not how I started streaming, I don't think. But yeah, I started streaming a year ago. The main reason being, I mean, there was and still is a pandemic going on. This is probably the origin story for a lot of streamers down the line. There was a pandemic going on. I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't doing anything. I wanted to stream. I had wanted to stream for years at that point, and just always came close to doing it, and never did. So at that point, I just said, like, what else am I doing? Let's just go for it.
Yeah.
And then I started streaming. Like, I think the one thing that I thought about in terms of like a plan before I actually turned on the camera was the whole, like, what was going to be the theme, and what still is to a certain extent the theme of my stream, which is, you know, I take a classic series that's been going on for a while, and I stream through all of it. I think I picked Tomb Raider on a whim as sort of a nice, hey, I've played this as a kid but never finished any of them. I've played one of the newer ones. I don't really know what the hell's going on. Let's do it. I own them already on Steam, which was a big factor in my choice as well, I think.
Good choice.
So that's sort of when I actually started streaming. That's what happened. Ooh, my mom's in chat. Hey, mom. Anyway.
Hi, Mother Bogle.
I wanted to start streaming, I think, about 5 years ago.
Wow.
Because at that point I was getting heavily into the card game Magic the Gathering, and one of the reasons I was getting into it was because there was so much more content being shown on Twitch and on YouTube for that particular game, way more than the last time I tried to get into it, which was, I think, 2006. For about a year, I think, in university, I played that game, not very actively, but there was all this content, and I was introduced through some other content creators that were all of a sudden doing Magic stuff, and so I wanted to stream Magic. I made like overlays, and I did all this stuff, and then it just never happened. Like, one of the things that I think is important to mention there is that, I've struggled with depression for, well, at this point, decades. And at that point, I wasn't getting any help. I wasn't doing anything about it. And I was having all these ideas, but I was always just stopping myself from doing anything about it just because I just thought I couldn't, or, just didn't have the energy, stuff like that. So one of the things that definitely helped was doing something about that, and I'm feeling way better now for a couple of years already, and that really helped me focus on what I actually wanted, and what I wanted was to stream. I don't know that I have a very inspiring reason as to why I wanted to stream. I think it just felt like a fun thing to do because what I known about streaming, what I found out about streaming seemed just like an interesting way to engage with people, I guess. Like that's definitely changed, and I think we'll get to that as well. Like reasons to stream and all of that. I didn't really have any in the beginning; just felt like something to do.
It's funny
So
you
yeah,
mentioned
that's
that
how I sort of started.
because I was just reading an article on Reddit about somebody who had a very similar story where um, they had started streaming and they had a build up of a small community, and then they had some events going on in their life. They had a bad breakup and some situations with their work, and all these things kind of tumbled at the same time. So they stopped streaming and they went back into a deep state of depression. And then they were talking to a counselor, and I guess somehow streaming came up as something that they really enjoyed doing in their life. And the counselor said you should start streaming, and if that's what made you happy, then. And they said that it's totally turned their life around. They're on an upward trend, and I think a lot of people have that type of a sentiment towards it. It's about interacting with people, and that sort of camaraderie and community is really significant to our mental health. So I'm glad to hear that that's really beneficial to you.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. One of the things that I don't think I realized at the time was when it was all pretty bad. Like I was you know pretty depressed, and I wasn't seeking any help. I wasn't taking any medication, stuff like that. One of the things that I did notice was I was becoming way more of a sort of a hermit. Like
Mm.
I had my wife and I had my work, but that was about it. Like I think for at least a year or two, I just didn't almost never saw any of my friends. And one of the things that I started doing again when I started going to therapy and stuff like that was to actually seek that out and notice about myself that I am actually a very social person. Like I really wanted that. And I think on some level last year I knew that, not being able to do that would hit me harder than I thought it would. So looking to stream as a way to maintain or increase, social skills or a social circle definitely helped. And I started seeing a therapist, I think 4 years ago. At the time when I started streaming, I was doing group therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said I'm not doing that anymore because one of the things that I've said before on my own stream as well is like I would not be streaming without that therapy group. And I would also not be done with that therapy group without streaming because it sort of became these two things that have, lifted me up in more ways than one together, I guess. And the one took over the other. I'm not saying that streaming is like my therapy, but it is, it fulfills a similar role, I guess,
Right.
if that makes sense.
And not only has it helped you, but you've used that as a medium to help other people as well.
Yes,
With
and that's,
your
yeah, for
charity
sure.
and whatnot.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's been something that I've I've always sort of looked for in my life as a thing I wanted to do something that felt like doing good, and to be able to use the stream for that is very fulfilling. Like I that is probably about 70 to 80% of why I stream at this point is because it makes me feel like I'm doing something good,
I mean,
either through community building or legitimately raising money for charity.
exactly. And I think one of your testaments, and I think something you can be proud of, and a lot of people would ascribe to you, is how involved you are with your community and how connected they are together. I mean, would you
No,
consider
thank you.
yourself that something that you have accomplished or something that you could be proud of?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm not. I hate uh, tooting my own horn, as it were. Like I'm
That's
not.
That's what the
I'm not
show is about.
No, it's super uncomfortable. I'm like, okay, fine. No,
Ooh.
one of the things that I can safely say is that yes, that is not only am I proud of that as something that has happened, but I'm also very comfortable talking about it in that way because it wasn't an accident. That's something that I actively, from the moment I started getting chat members, that is something that I've actively put work into, and I think about a lot. Like I talk about it sometimes on my Discord, and I always feel like I'm going into way too much detail at that point. But I think about, you know, the minutia of community building almost on a daily basis, like how to do things, how to, you know, word things, how to make people feel not just comfortable or welcome, but also connected. That is incredibly important. I would say, and this is probably going to make me sound incredibly pretentious, but it's something I realized recently, actually, when I know someone was talking about this online, I think, and I was like, do I consider myself a streamer? And I actually might not, in the sense that I don't stream to stream, or I don't even really stream to play video games. I feel like the community building aspect of it is the most important part. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, as far as your comment about sounding pretentious or whatever, like it's also somewhat nice to know that like all of those people are there for you because of you. All these people that have interacted with each other or that you interact with on a daily basis. And I mean, you've been at it a little bit longer than I have, you know, and I'm getting to the point now where, you know, my Discord is, you know, starting to get a little bit more activity and there are more people to interact with on a daily basis. And
Yeah.
it's nice to have those people to talk to. I've recently had people starting to, you know, private message me, you know, just to talk to me about things that they may not have somebody else to talk to. And you know, it's nice to not only have people there for you, but to be there for people as well.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Yeah. And that's, I mean, that's never about, because that has happened to me as well. And it's never about me,
right,
right? About them. However, like I would lie if that wasn't an incredible feeling, you know, for myself as well. Like it's an ego boost, it's a confidence boost, it's a, you know, it really helps me as a person that I am someone people come to, not necessarily for help, but definitely for other things besides, you know, I don't know, dumbass things I've said on the internet or a video game that I've played. Which is not to say that dumbass things on the internet and video games aren't incredibly important. Like that is
Yes,
still a
we
lot of fun. The fun parts of streaming is definitely being an internet idiot, right? But
we're looking forward to that in later in the show.
yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, no, but I can definitely relate to that. And I've known, like I can off the top of my head, I'm not gonna say obviously because those are private conversations, but off the top of my head I can get like 4 or 5 people where I feel like they've come to me or I've come to them, and then we've had really good, you know, discussions or talks where you're not just talking to each other, but you're actually connecting about something. And at the end of it you feel like you both stepped away, you know, having learned or having grown, and that's an incredible feeling, honestly. That's, and it's not something that I expected going into this, but it's definitely something that has made it so that I will keep doing, or I have kept doing this for now a year, and I probably will keep doing this for a very long time.
yeah. And actually, the only way he'll talk to Mrs. Bogle is through Discord. So
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not DMing me, I'm not coming over for dinner. Come on.
right,
There you go.
yeah.
You need to put in a she needs to put in a poll every morning, a poll in Discord, and then have me vote what we're eating.
RTM testimonial. Bogle helped me get through my ED.
What
We were talking about that before stream too. Yeah,
what's ED? What is he talking about?
erectile dysfunction.
Oh, god damn it. You know what? No, actually, no. I felt like an idiot for not knowing that, but it's actually kind of good that I don't know what that means, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Oh, now I know why my dick doesn't work. Yeah.
I mean, you can't turn on a TV in America without a commercial about that now. So
Yeah.
Sure. That's not just the TV in Haggard's room.
I don't have a TV in my room, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, thank
his TV is in his living room with all his stream stuff, and his painting of RDM Havoc, which helps with his ED.
I mean, isn't every room in your house your room though?
Well,
Well
it's
said.
my house.
Yeah, exactly.
King of the
Okay.
castle.
Okay then.
So you're kind of like what I was thinking the whole time you were talking about it. It's like you're streaming not for you so much as you are for your community in a way, like connections and things. So the term that came to me was like you're a streamer for the people. You know, almost like if you look at your let me just briefly put this back up here. If you look at your shirt, you know, you're like this hero character with the sword, and it's almost
Oh
like
God, yeah.
you're the hero, you know, for your community of people, and I really like that.
Okay. Well, that's very kind of you. It makes me incredibly uncomfortable that you're saying that, but it is also very nice.
So more uncomfortable
Yeah, I mean-
than like how has streaming, rather than how has life impacted your goal towards streaming, right? Let's look at it the other way. How has streaming impacted your life? Both obviously positively, as we've heard, it has helped your impression, but have there been negative aspects to your life that streaming has caused?
Have there been negative aspects? That is a good question. I hope I can. I don't know if I have a satisfactory answer to that.
Maybe there isn't an answer, but it's something I'd like to know.
No, that makes sense. It's definitely impacted my life in the sense that I'm doing it a lot at this point,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I stream on average 20 hours a week, ignoring, you know, Discord movie nights or stream collaborations or whatever, but like scheduled, it's about 20 hours a week, which is not, you know, it's not full time for sure, but it's a lot, especially when you take into account 32 hours of work, a fairly young dog, a wife that, you know, we have a life together and I want to spend time with her. And in that sense, the thing that has impacted it's made me much better at planning.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And and maybe more negatively, it's forced me to become much better at planning because I remember November last year. November was a bad month for like that month really taught me I need to plan shit and then stick to it because otherwise I'm gonna drown. I was coming off of, I think at that point I was doing not just a 24-hour stream a month, but I think in October I did 2, which was just a horrible mistake. And then I had a bunch of charity stuff that I did, and at some point mid-November I was looking forward in the calendar. I think, when do I have time to do anything else? So and on the one hand, that's great. It's definitely taught me that is maybe something that I really would like to do more of, in the sense that, you know, I don't hate my job, but it is a job. It's not much more than that. Would I like to do more of this? Yes. But also, since that doesn't happen overnight, and it probably won't happen over the next couple of years, I need to make sure that I also take care of myself. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Right. And the past year has definitely, I don't know, forced me to take a look at that, right? Like to set my own boundaries as well. Even though I want to technically stream 24/7 all the time, or at least my mind wants to, my mind thinks it wants to. I really shouldn't. And that dilemma, or trying to balance that, has been somewhat of a struggle, I feel.
Yeah, that's actually. Oh, sorry, not to interrupt.
No, go ahead. No, I was done.
That's actually something I'm getting to the point too, is a healthy balance, and trying to. I mean, there'll be times where it's like, okay, yeah, you know, I said I was going to stream tonight, so I'll get on and stream. But honestly, if I'm not feeling it, I'll end the stream, because I'm not gonna push myself, and it's you know, it's not gonna be good for the people who are watching. You know, they're there to support me, and I'll just be sleeping in my fucking chair. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what we want to see. That's what I paid for.
Show up.
I got the T-shirt.
But yeah, it's like you know, it's like, yeah, I would do this all of the time if I could, but it does take its toll. It can be draining, um, and it's okay to step away if that's what you need to do. Um, Especially when you have a community like we've fallen into. Everybody is very supportive, very understanding.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
They're not going to give you shit if
I don't think I've ever had a moment where I felt I was disappointing someone where they were actually disappointed. I mean, there's always the snarky comments, but
right.
only people that don't mean those make those. So that's perfectly fine. No, I mean it's very important that at the end of the day, even if it's not work, it is you're putting your energy into it, right? And you need to recharge. And streaming can be so incredibly addictive. It's one of those things where I have a stream week, as it were, from Thursday to Monday, where Tuesday and Wednesday is basically my stream weekend, I guess. And around the Monday, I'm kind of done. Like that's the perfect amount of time. But then I don't know, Tuesday afternoon already, I kind of get that itch of, oh god damn it, I wish I was streaming in the evening, right? And it's good that I'm not. Like I have other stuff to do. There's other stuff that I want to do in my life. Uh, One of the things that we can probably touch on as well is uh, I don't know if people that don't stream realize how much time, even if you're not doing that much, even if you're just a small time streamer, a lot of time goes into preparing stuff for streams.
Absolutely.
Like my stream is not that technologically advanced or whatever. Like I don't have that many like I don't know camera angles or different setups or whatever, but it's a lot.
We're talking about Artie and Havoc. We all know
Yeah.
it.
Was I trying to be subtle? I don't think I was.
Yeah, especially when you get to the point where you're trying to do something different, and then you've got to take the time to figure out how to do what you want to do. Even switching, I spent the longest time just dealing with Streamlabs because that was what seemed like the easiest option.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of creates a bit of a comfort zone,
Mhm.
and I needed to step outside of that. And in doing so, actually, my stream has become considerably better. You put more thought into, um, what you want to do, and not only that, but I was able to actually stream at a higher quality because Streamlabs uses more resources. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it's tough too because you really want to put the work in, right? Like I was editing that sort of the highlight video that I made
Mhm.
with clips from the first year of streams, and I was looking at stuff and listening to clips of me streaming. I don't know the first Tomb Raider, and like the first week that I streamed like the entire first Tomb Raider game in like 7 days, I think, straight. And yes, 7 days. I'm bad at video games. Shut up. There's people in chat. Trust me. The thing is though, like, there's been so many improvements already. Like I sounded horribly. I had this thing, but it was even an older headset, so it sounded even worse. And this isn't perfect. It's still not perfect. I need new lights and shit. But there's been so many more improvements also in how I not just promote the stream, but also communicate what I'm doing to people. Plus, there's the Discord and all that stuff. And I definitely don't want to come across as if I'm complaining because again the underlying thought here is that gives me a lot of energy and it makes me very happy putting in that work. But you do got to put in the work basically, and then streaming's nice, and I am incredibly fortunate, I feel, and I'm still not entirely sure how or why this is happening, but I get um, small to medium regular amounts of Twitch payouts, which is awesome,
Awesome.
but it
I'm
doesn't
glad to
pay
hear
the
that.
bills,
No, absolutely not. Not yet.
right.
right?
You know,
Not yet.
you
No.
never know.
You
It's
never know.
also nice to be able to
But
play games which you'd probably be doing anyway. And not only are there's the monetary aspect of it, yes, but
Mhm.
I mean, especially for me, it's more about the interaction with the people and the communities that we've come into.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So you were talking about how long it took you to beat Tomb Raider, and then Rad showed up.
God damn it!
Almost
Yes,
as if on cue.
It took me. I think it took me 9 days, including or 8 days, including unfinished business, which is sort of an expansion pack to Tomb Raider 1.
Now, was
Look, I
it?
had no idea what the fuck I was doing. That game is hard.
Yeah, I remember first playing it on the original PlayStation, and it was a struggle.
Yeah.
The amount of traps that just troll you, and you have to start far back and do it all over again.
I have to give Tomb Raider props though, because that is, I mean, it has to be the reason why my stream got up and running pretty quickly, or at least quicker than I expected. Right, I half expected to stream for like 1 or 2 people, friends that I knew, before starting to stream for like at least 6 months. Right, but it's like I will always be in debt to the Tomb Raider community, whatever I, however many times I will still stream those games, which for the foreseeable future is not a lot because I've done it for a year and I'm kind of done with it. Uh, but I will be forever indebted to people showing up because of Tomb Raider and then staying. Because and that is something that is something I definitely want to talk about. I don't know if that's something that you had on a list of stuff you wanted to talk about, but
Oh,
there's such a big
it's gonna
difference.
open.
Yeah, no, fair enough. It's such a big. There's such a big difference I feel in, deciding what type of streamer you want to be,
Mm-hmm.
because I
Are
feel
you
like
a retro streamer?
am I retro? No. Don't worry about it. I would never do. I'd be a retro. Now, I guess I mean, I classify myself as I classify most of the people that I know streaming, which they're variety streamers, right? They
Mm-hmm.
play whatever the hell they want to play. Could I? I think. Okay, depending on the game, like again, I wouldn't get into League or Fortnite because I feel like I'm too old. Basically, first of all, I'm too old. I don't get Fortnite.
Netherlands top Fortnite streamer.
Yes,
I've played it once and I don't get it.
you're not too old to dab though.
No, I am too old to dab, but that doesn't stop people.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop people to make me do it. I'm glad we're on a different channel. They can't redeem any channel points. That's good. No, but look, I'm being like, I'm trying to be funny here, but I'm also kind of serious in the sense that I think it's easier to build that community, or to at least build a stream if you really focus on something, right? Like if you're like, you're the Fortnite person or you're the Magic the Gathering person. There's a limit to how big that community can get depending on which game you pick or which theme you have, I guess. But because there's sort of an inherent fan base there, I think it's easier to attract that.
Mm.
However, I think the community that you build by just being yourself, and whether or not that's, a variety streamer or retro or whatever, is more close knit because they're there for you and each other instead of the game. Right?
Yep.
Like I'm indebted to the Tomb Raider community for showing up, but I'm way more indebted to the people from the Tomb Raider community that stayed
Mm-hmm.
after I was done with that game, right?
Yeah.
And I find that rewarding to think about, in the sense that because I play the games that I want to play, to a certain extent, there are games that I play because other people tell me to play them. But overall, I have a say in what I do, basically. That inherently means that people show up because of me and because of the community that we're building together. And I think that's way more important than trying to build a stream quickly off of the back of
Some game. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like, I don't want to talk shit about people that stream Fortnite, or even people that start streaming because they want to get big quick.
Yeah.
And so they pick, I don't know, it's what is it, Valorant now, and
Mm-hmm.
it's Overwatch before that. Like, sure, do that if that's what you want to do. It's not for me, and it's also, I don't know, I see the downsides to that, I guess.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm with you there.
I could easily get burnt out on a game, which as much as I love Celeste, anybody who's followed me knows that I really haven't been playing it.
Yeah, same here. It's like it's my favorite game, but I'm not going to play it every single stream. I
Yeah,
mean, one,
and
it tires me out, and two, I think it tires the community out.
right, and I love the people that I've met because of that game, and the people that have stuck around because of it,
Mhm.
and
Absolutely.
they're still here despite the fact that I just
It's
have
good you wear this shirt. You're wearing this shirt.
Even more appropriate.
Look,
comfortable.
they take what they can get,
That's
even
right.
if it's just the logo on your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but I really like how you were talking about kind of setting your own parameters. It's kind of what I think streaming gives us the ability to do is to be creative in our own rights and to be in control of that creativity. Whereas like in our jobs, it's like this is what I'm confined to do and I have to do it according to these rules, these regulations, and these policies, and this is what I can do and I can't step outside that. Whereas in streaming, I mean, anything from 24-hour variety streams to sleeping in your chair, it's all within the realm of our comfort. And
Yeah. Apparently, hot. You're never gonna live that down. You do know that, right?
um,
No, but there he goes. There he goes.
I
The
could,
natural state of the haggard.
I guess so. So what I'm leading up to is if you had a dream stream collaboration, somebody that you follow, somebody that you would like to be participating with, doing some sort of collabs. Like, is there somebody that you've worked with that you want to work with again, or is somebody that you've never worked with you'd love that opportunity?
Let me start at the end there. Anyone that I've worked with before, I want to work with again because they've all been amazing people. Anyone that I've worked with, I've met through, either my own community or through my own community in someone else's community. Like this came up during our Chom's talk as well, right? All these communities are intertwined, which makes them, so much more valuable than if they were all separate.
Yep.
That's like part of the great thing. One of the things that I've always thought about is the fact that I don't know the exact percentage, but the majority of my viewers are also streamers, and that's wonderful. I think that's great. I like that's one of the tenets of how I want to approach my community building or how I want to approach my stream is to build other people up. Right?
Yeah.
It's not in that sense. It's not really even about me. Like one of the best. I'll get to the actual answer of your question, but
Take your
one of the
time.
best things that I always
We got all day.
yeah, I got nowhere to go. The one of the best feelings is when people in chat are talking to each other, but not me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm streaming my stream. I'm playing my game. People are talking to me, and I'm talking to chat. But there's also like one or two people talking to each other about something completely different.
Yep.
I love that feeling. That is so good because that is what it's all about. I feel it's not necessarily about me. I or the stream is sort of a conduit for social interaction, for bringing people together, for meeting other people. Audio snobs
I was gonna bring that up. So last night, a quick aside, I already had was streaming, of course, Star Wars. He's been doing a Star Wars kick for several nights now. I don't know how many weeks, but myself, Old School J, and then eventually C-Cross all got in this kind of pseudo debate over audio capture frequencies and whether or not the human ear was capable of discerning frequencies about certain things, because we're talking about capturing vinyl and analog recordings and mastering and all this other crazy stuff. And Artem Havy's like, I love how you guys are just talking about nothing that has to do with me. He's like, I could shut off my stream right now and the chat's gonna keep going.
It's such a good feeling. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. I just explained why. But still, it's very like, why do I care so much about that? But it feels very good, and it's weird too because you on the when I started streaming, I thought that wasn't going to be the case, right? It was going to be like I would feel like, oh no, they're ignoring me or I'm doing something wrong. But that is not the point, and that is wonderful. In terms of future collaborations that I haven't collaborated with, well, I mean, I'm here now. I've never done anything with either Haggard or Seek besides Save and Raid. So what the fuck? Haggard already ignored me when I said I would play Resident Evil 5 with him. So
Oh, goodness.
I mean, that sounds accurate.
That's all right. You ignored
Which is
me
probably-
when I asked you to play Dead Space 3, so we're even.
That's true. No, you're right. No, you're not wrong. Both games are not that good, so maybe we should just be
Oh,
happy.
right, yeah.
The
Sorry,
big
I'm
one
the
is
Celeste, so
yeah, that is fair. The big one is a not just a streamer but a stream channel that sort of something that I neglected to mention when I was talking about how did I start streaming. I don't watch that many streams.
Hmm.
I watch way more streams now that I'm streaming, obviously, but I don't. Besides streaming and doing other things, I don't have a lot of time to actually watch streams if I'm not working, which I'm hoping none of my employers are watching right now. But yes, I do watch streams while I work. I mean, I also work.
It's
during that
passive,
still.
right? It's like listening to music or watching a movie in the background. It's pretty
I
passive.
might be a little bit more active in chat sometimes than I
I'm
should
covering
be,
for you.
yeah, that's very nice of you. No, but I and before I started streaming, I actually barely watched any streams. The only streams that I watched were VODs on YouTube from a streaming collective, I guess. It's a group of people in Canada called Loading Ready Run, who I've been following for since 2006, I think.
Huh.
They've been doing stuff on the internet since 2003, starting out as sort of an internet sketch comedy group, branching out into streaming, and that's basically what they do now. They have a big channel. I think there's about 14 people there that do stuff, and I use I watch their VODs all the time, and they mean a lot to me because their approach to community building has influenced mine a lot, right? None of the stuff that we've been talking about is necessarily an invention that I came up with. It's stuff that you take what you need from other people, right? Like the way that my Discord is structured is an amalgamation of stuff that I saw, the way that I approach my streaming or my channel point redemption ideas and stuff like that. It's all like, hey, I see that somewhere, and that's what I like, and the other things I don't like, but I'm going to take this one thing and I'm going to incorporate it into what I do and make it mine, basically. So especially their approach to community building has influenced me a lot, specifically because I've been a part of that community for so long, and they've been one of the few very good things that I could always come back to during some of those years where there wasn't a lot of that, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Like I remember especially when I was like severely depressed, right? Like this was just before I started talking about it with my wife, because I had issues and I didn't talk about any of it, which isn't to say that nobody knew, but I wasn't talking about it. But I could always put on something Loading Ready Run and feel good about it, basically. So the idea of ever doing something with them, I mean, I don't get starstruck, but I would. You know what I mean? Like I don't generally hold to some sort of like cult of celebrity or whatever. I don't particularly care about any famous person like that. But these people, I mean, I wouldn't call them famous necessarily, but these people are very important to me. And if I could ever do anything with them, that would be amazing. That's definitely bucket list material.
And feel free to shout them out if you want to throw their YouTube link in chat for anybody who's interested in checking them out, because I've never heard of them. And so I'd love to check out some of their
It's
stuff.
Loading Ready Run basically everywhere. They make a lot of Magic the Gathering content, a lot of sort of comedy content, and they stream. They structure their channel a little bit in a way that I've also sort of stolen. I'm only one person, right? But they structure their channel as sort of like a TV channel where different episodes of a type of stream on set moments. So they have like a horror stream where two people play horror games. They have like a rhythm game stream on Sunday where people play rhythm games. They have they do a sort of a variety comedy show live on Twitch once a month, which is really funny. Stuff like that. They're very good. They're very fun people. They're not as big as they should be. They got into YouTube a little late, as they would say.
2003 was a little late.
Well, no, I mean YouTube wasn't around back then.
Right,
I mean,
2008, I think.
Yeah, but they waited longer
Oh,
for
okay.
that. There were reasons for that. I mean, they would know more than I do, obviously, but I'm always surprised at how, for what they do. Right. At this point they're a company that support multiple people full time.
Wow.
For what they do and for how much they can achieve, I always am surprised at their, like, I don't know, follower count and subscriber count on YouTube. But their fan base is, I mean, I'm a part of it. They're rabid, right? They would walk through fire for these people, and you can tell that that's something that they work really hard at. And I appreciate that, and I respect that a lot. So that's
Yes, he wants you to walk through fire for him.
yes.
It's a good thing I'm
So
not wearing
work
shoes.
on that, right?
I have like a lot of I have some Haggard Hessian and some Archim Havoc merch that I could, you know, I could set fire to, and you can walk out.
Speaking of which,
I don't actually have Haggard Hessian merch yet.
Not
I
yet.
wait for your merch here.
Oh, good. I'm glad you have that. So much Havoc merch.
So much Havoc merch. Hey, there's some. A lot of Save and Raid merch with the wrong date and the wrong logo.
Oh, I have like 8 shirts with the wrong date.
I know, right? I have a huge flag with the wrong date on it. It's wonderful. At some point, that's going to be worth a lot of money.
Absolutely. That's what I'm doing, collecting. Like my Sleeping Beauty shirt, I didn't even take out of the package because it's gonna be on eBay for $1 million.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, focusing on Twitch, right? Because we've talked about YouTube. Obviously, we're all Twitch streamers here. This is kind of the niche
Yes.
that we find ourselves in. How do you feel about the whole Twitch system? Like, I know I asked Art and Havoc this, but I really am interested in the answer to this question. It's like, you have subscriptions and bits and affiliates and partners and regular people. It's like, and I know there was a stream not too long ago, maybe about 2 weeks ago, where you were talking about how hard it is to support your streamers and feel like the monetary incentive is part of the support, but that like financially we can't just support everybody that we want to support.
Oh no, God. Yeah.
I mean, I went through a recent purge where it's like I had to cut out 75% of the streamers that I support. I still love them. I still want to be in their streams, but financially I'm just not at a point where I can do that. And so
No.
ultimately my question
I'm
is
in the same boat.
how do you feel about this whole Twitch system? And it's like, what would you change? What do you love?
It's an excellent question. It's a complicated one too, because it ties into, and I really don't necessarily want to go into all of that, but it ties into what you think about Amazon, right? And what you think about uh, Bezos, what you think about big tech in general, stuff like that. In terms of just Twitch, I don't really have a problem with the way that things are set up to a certain extent. I think paying people for their work, whether or not it feels like work, whether or not it, um, you know, is work that they enjoy or not, that is irrelevant. I think paying people for content is a good thing. Uh, I appreciate that nobody can do that. Nobody can do that for everyone that they follow. Like I support a few people on Patreon. I support, like, at one point I think I even had a YouTube membership to a YouTube channel, which is a thing now. Around the beginning of the year, I think I looked at some of my, uh, let's say, credit card statements, and I thought, maybe I shouldn't try to sub to literally every, because again, majority of the viewers are streamers,
Right.
So you wanna support them, and you also want to pay back the support, I guess, but at some point you have to realistically, first of all, I won't be able to afford that for very long, but also at that point, aren't you just moving money around while Twitch takes a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that worth it? Right? Having said that, I think the idea of subs and bits is not inherently a bad thing. I think it gives a lot of additional value, not just in terms of supporting the streamer, but also, look, they're just emotes, but emotes are sweet. So
Yeah, they are.
I think that's great. I think
Emotes in chat.
having a lot of them are wonderful. I like mine a lot, so of course I expect other people to also like mine a lot. No, but it's so I don't begrudge Twitch doing that. In terms of how much they take, I also I don't know enough about that sort of thing. Basically, like I don't know what would be fair, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I actually the one thing, and I've talked about that since I became affiliate. I think because I was so surprised at it. I don't agree with tier 2 and tier 3 subs. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of it.
I'm pointing at Haggard. Sorry. Keep going.
What? Who?
Nothing.
Which isn't to say that I haven't tier 2 or tier 3 subbed to some people, because again, emotes. I don't enjoy having multiple levels of paywall. It makes me feel uncomfortable when people do it to me, because I don't feel like I do much more for them. And I also don't want to do much more for them. One of the things that I like about this system is that a few people pay for the content or the entertainment of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't want to paywall the stuff that I do. And that is I mean, again, I don't do this as a job, but let's say that I would be able to, keep an actual paywall, to keep my content free because people pay for it. But then introducing these tiers, I don't know, it makes me feel it feels wrong to me. I don't like it. Also because it's just one emote slot and it's like
Right.
it's not
Quite
worth it.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, or 5
times.
times too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. That. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Tier 3. Tier 3 I can't justify. Tier 2 I understand. I mean, and what Rad said is extremely relevant to the conversation. It's like some people just want to throw more support at you, and so the higher tier subs are doing that. But to your point, and I think a lot of people also Rad's point, it's just why not use that donation button? That's like
You could give all 25 of those dollars to that person as
It's
opposed
also that I'm not 100% sure. Like I'm not 100% clear on how much of a tier 2 or a tier 3 I get. Basically, I don't know how that works.
from my understanding, it's the exact same. It's still
It's still
50%.
50. Okay, well in that case,
Yeah.
I
So
mean, yeah, I don't know that is you are giving more to the streamer, but you're also still giving more to Twitch.
right, and Twitch didn't do any more for your content, other than maybe there's an algorithm in there that you have more tier 2 and 3 subs, you get more of that transcoding option, right? Maybe that's
know.
part of it.
Yeah.
But I can't think of anything else that Twitch provides us as a viewer.
I've thought about it a lot because I think would it be better if everybody just PayPal'd content creators money? Yes, I think. I mean, maybe don't use PayPal, but
The other one is Ko-Fi. I just found out about.
yeah, exactly. Well, let's say that. Let's if you Ko-Fi or coffee, I guess is the joke, right? Buy me a
Yeah,
coffee.
coffee. Yeah,
Coffee, which I don't drink, so don't buy me a coffee, please.
coffee right here.
If everybody would do that, would it be better for the content creators? Yes, absolutely. However, would as many people as sub to my channel do that? No, I don't think so.
Well,
Because Twitch provides this system where it not only makes it easy, but it also motivates people to do that. Like I've subbed or joined a hype train where
mm-hmm,
afterwards I think would I have done that if not for like the excitement of having done that and the
100%,
streamer noticing?
100%.
Probably not, right?
Twitch is definitely
So
capitalizing on that impulse that we have.
yeah, they provide they provide a system through which it is very easy to get swept away by that. And the way that I'm describing that now seems a bit negative, but I actually don't think that it is. I mean, it can be for some people for sure, but I don't think it necessarily is.
I've got a hype train badge in Bogle's channel. Damn it. I feel dirty.
You are dirty, but that's okay. We still love you. No, I think you're
No, but
100% right.
it's a difficult situation because on the one hand, yes, there would be a better way to do any of that. On the other hand, it wouldn't happen, right?
I mean, at this point, like the extra tiers and the bit emotes and stuff, like those are just extra slots for me to use emotes I want to use. So, like,
I mean, that's literally the only. Well, it's not the only reason I want to become partner, and I don't even really know if I want to become partner. I guess the distinction there being like, what does partner even mean? If partner means streaming full time, then I'm not entirely sure if I want to. But if I do want to, That's the biggest reason. It's just more emote slots because it's fun, and it's. I mean, it does. Look, from a more cynical marketing standpoint, you know, it makes me feel good, but it also is. Um, it's a good thing to have those, I don't know, branding avenues, I guess is what I want to call them, right? Emotes stand for something because I check that a lot. If I see an emote I don't know, right? I click, if I like it, I click on it. I want to see whose emote is that. I don't
Yep.
know offhand if I've ever subbed because I saw an emote somewhere, but still it is sort of a little calling card
Absolutely.
on the platform. So more slots for more creativity, for more um, you know, community ideas becoming. I have an emote. I moved it to tier 2 because the people that came up with the idea are my two tier 2 subscribers. But I have like a little multicolored rainbow unicorn thing called Bradley the attention horse. Sorry, Bradney the attention horse. Because in writing it nay and knee. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Got it.
It's a stupid joke. I think it's almost a year old now, and like maybe 3 people remember that it's a thing. But I'm never moving that emote because it's part of the community, right? And more opportunities for stuff like that that's good. I like that a lot. So that's why I like Twitch for sure. I do. The one thing that is interesting, because I think you can all participate in that, and most people can, and I can't, is the whole the gambling thing that's new now, right? The predictions is, I think it's called.
Oh,
Where you
predictions. Yeah, but
where
isn't that
you
usually points?
yeah, it's not money,
Yeah.
but it's part of the Twitch system, I guess.
Right.
And I have some complicated feelings on that, even though it's not money. But it's difficult to talk about it because I can't participate because it's not available in the Netherlands.
Interesting. I didn't realize it was region locked.
Yeah, I can't make predictions, or I can't activate it on my channel, but I can't even participate in other people's channel.
Interesting.
I don't actually know if it's legitimately a consequence of um, Dutch gambling laws, or if it's Amazon staying abreast of any potential problem with gambling laws. You know what I mean? If it's them just looking at, we might as well not, because then they might look at it and not like it. Let sleeping dogs lie or whatever. I'm not entirely sure if they're not allowed to or if they're choosing not to. Is what I'm saying.
So, I've seen it in a few streams, and I'm pretty sure they're North American-based streamers. But I've also seen it in one Japanese stream with Japanese-based streamers, and so
I can do it in Germany. I know Rad's done it, I think.
okay. So specifically the Netherlands and maybe some other countries.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
Are loot
again,
boxes available to you?
yes, but they're heavily being looked at.
Right.
Yeah. There's I mean, the European Union in general is not letting that go, I think, which I mean, honestly, I think is a good thing. The reason I bring it up is because it's one of the things in Twitch where even though I get that it's like, this is always the argument I get in chat, like, it's not money. Fair enough. It is gambling, and there's more to gambling than losing money, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And especially in the gaming space, I personally feel that there's a little bit too much of that, and I don't have a problem with it, but a lot of people can, or they have an addictive personality, or they're literal children, and I personally feel that our gaming spaces don't need more of that, even though this is technically harmless. But I don't know. It's one of the, you asked about Twitch, and that's one of the things that sort of did someone just start a prediction?
That would
God
be
damn it.
our resident Lady Gamega. I mean, sorry, Lady Gamega.
No. When she's trolling me, she's Gamega, obviously.
Predict. Try beard brush at the end. Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, don't worry
Oh,
about
yeah.
it. Yeah, I got all my stuff here. The works, as it were.
It works. Yeah.
Oh, listen. Right here, I got a prompt under this prediction tab. You are participating as a moderator. If you participate, you won't be able to choose the outcome.
Yeah,
Interesting.
because you're a mod.
with great power comes great
I
responsibility.
don't think we're going to solve that issue right now. It's on my mind. I've talked about it a lot in streams that do use it.
Hmm.
It's I feel like tech companies and Twitch is no different. Try things before they go whole hog. You know what I mean? And this is something that I feel like whatever we don't agree with that Twitch does, I feel like much worse ideas have been mentioned around the offices there. And whether or not they actually want to do it, they will certainly try and see what sticks.
Yeah.
And if that means tier 4, tier 5, send in a vial of your blood tier subscriptions, then there's probably someone who thought about it.
Bathwater.
Sure.
Bathwater, fuck yeah! I don't have a bath. See,
yeah.
this is why I will never make it.
Yeah, I
As a
don't either.
coffee. I don't have a
Yeah.
bathtub. Shower water it's not the same thing, man.
No, and it just kind of runs off anyway.
Haggard toilet water available.
Is that from the bowl or from the little reservoir behind them?
Mystery.
It depends on which tier
Yeah,
you
there
want.
you go.
That's fair. Yeah, both, but one is more expensive. Fair enough.
Right. Yeah.
See, great business minds.
That's interesting, Lady Gamer. Interesting that it prevented certain phraseology.
Three-way. Right.
Yeah, you're not allowed to say 3-way,
It's like you can't use.
which
the
is a
word
weird thing to
mother on
censor.
Lady Game Guy's channel for some reason. I think it's
Mother?
because she doesn't want to be compared to her mother. No, I'm just
What?
I only know about Fish. I mean, Fish is not here. I don't think so. We can talk about her all I want.
Yes, please.
Yep.
She has the word baby and shark
Yep.
muted because she doesn't like the song Baby Shark. I mean,
And coffee, I believe.
who does?
Can't
Does
say
she?
coffee either.
Has
She does not
muted
have coffee.
now?
She has not
It is
needed
not
coffee
muted?
because
okay.
yesterday
Well.
she was not yesterday, another day. I think she was on Lady Game Dust stream. She had iced coffee and she didn't hate it.
Oh.
So
Right.
we're slowly working her down.
Look, I'm not a coffee purist in the sense that I don't drink coffee at all. But even I know iced coffee is not coffee, right? It's a milkshake.
Yes, you're thinking of the Frappuccino blended drinks thing, yeah.
Oh, is she
Iced,
talking about
real
cold brew?
iced coffee is like cold brew, or it's just hot coffee that's poured over ice, maybe add a little milk and sugar.
All right.
Right?
Cold brew is the way to go because then it's not all watered down.
That's true, 100%.
That's the only coffee I kind of like.
Cold brew.
I still don't ever really drink it, but yeah, I've had cold brew and I like that.
It's definitely smoother. It has less of those tannins that make coffee bitter. You know, the way that coffee drinkers over there like it.
Coffee?
Haggard. I mean, I know you've been itching for something.
Me?
You should take a shower if he's itching for something.
No, we rolled right out of bed. I slept like this.
Yep.
I took a shower specifically for this thing.
No, I'm actually brain dead today.
Well,
I mean, more so than most days.
so
Which also calls me out, which I'm basically self-owning myself because that does mean that I don't always shower for my own streams.
who among us has never done the same? I mean, come on, let's be
It's
real.
2021.
Like you said, we're not going anywhere, so hey, why not?
Exactly.
But I do want to ask a specific save and raid question, and then charity streaming in general as kind of a
Yes.
piggyback.
Absolutely.
So, one, how has save and raid changed you as a streamer? Has it changed your mission? Has it changed your perception? Because it was a big charity event. And to piggyback off of that, have you ever gone back and kind of totaled the amount of money that you've raised over all of your charity streams? Just to say, like, you know, over the time I've been streaming, I've raised $69,420 for charity.
I have not. I probably could, but also I couldn't. It's a difficult thing, right? Because a lot of the in terms of like my total result, I guess, of charity donations that I have worked on personally, I think about 50% of it, probably even more. Oh no, definitely more. I've not done on my own, right? Save and Raid was amazing, and it really, for me, it was a very nice. Your original question being, like, how has that changed me or my stream, right?
Yeah. How's it
Yeah.
changed you? How's it changed your streaming? Has it changed your mission?
It for me, it was the first time where I wanted to know if I could not just stream for charity, because I've done that already on multiple occasions, but if I could actually like organize stuff
Mhm.
like that, right? I've done some charity streams last year, most notably, excuse me, for Extra Life as part of the Tomb Raider community team, where we raised, I think, a little over 8,000 over the course of a couple of months.
Well done.
I myself, as like my personal contribution to that, there's 25 people I think were in that team. I myself raised a little over 1,000, which I did
Well
not
done.
expect.
Well done.
And that was an amazing experience. That was sort of the first charity thing that I did, besides, the fact that I donate 50% of everything that I own everything that I make through Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
50% of that always goes into two particular Dutch charities,
Mhm.
and that's been the case since, like, I decided to do that even before I became an affiliate.
Wow.
But that was the big sort of doing a thing for a charity. But all of that was arranged either through Extra Life or by Stella, right? The big Tomb Raider community hen mother. And I really didn't need to do much for that. I also participated in the Tomb Raider marathon. This was all that big November that I was talking about, where everything happened at the same
Okay.
time. Where that's a separate thing from Extra Life. I think they raised money for, fuck, I forget the name. Ooh, that's bad. Anyway, it does matter, but it also doesn't matter for this particular story. Save and Raid was very much, Archon came up with this idea and he asked for people to work with him, and I was like, yes, because I've done this, but I want to be the person to actually work on it as well, instead of just being there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Which, again, nothing wrong with just being there. It's all amazing, but I wanted to see if I could. And Save and Raid has showed me that I can, basically. And I mean, that doesn't mean that I can do it alone, because I didn't do Save and Raid alone. Like,
None of us
besides the
did.
fact that it's not even, no, none of us did, but also, like, in terms of organization, Archon did most of the work, but also there's so many people involved there. But still, it showed me that I could think about what needed to be thought about to make that sort of thing work. And that is, yeah, that has made it so that I'm definitely going to do more of that. Not just more Save and Raid. Archon and I are already talking, and then there's stuff happening for more of that, because it was so incredibly successful, way more successful than we ever thought would happen. But also, just for me, like, this month is a big one because I turned 35 at the beginning of the month.
Hey, happy
Thank you,
birthday.
thank you. I managed to stay alive for 35 years. Big achievement.
No, I'm with you there. I never saw me past 30 when I was in
Yeah.
my 20s. I just
Oh, wow.
didn't.
I still really can't. This is a tangent, but I still can't kind of see myself past 60. That's always been a thing for me. Like, even when I was a teenager, it's like, I don't know what I would be like or what I would do,
Yeah.
which is a weird age, I guess, to think about when you're 17. But still, I still have that a little bit. Like, I don't know if that is ever a thing. It probably will be. I'm not, planning on not getting past 60, but still, it seems a weird thing. So I do get that. No, but so for that, I've never really cared about birthdays all that much. I mean, when I was a kid, obviously, but since I'm an adult, sort of, I don't. Yeah, I mean,
For all of us,
we're
yeah.
all again internet idiots. Adult is a very loose term, I feel. But ever since that, I've never really particularly cared about doing something with my birthday necessarily. I've never been like, yeah, intentions on me. It's my birthday, celebrate my life or whatever.
Mhm.
So I wanted to do something good, and I don't think I would have done what I did without Save and Raid, because I think before Save and Raid gave me sort of the it's sort of an in between step between just showing up and doing it all yourself.
Right.
If you know what I mean, right? Because it was Archulm's idea. I could attach myself to that idea and just work hard for that idea, and not have to make all these decisions myself. I could always go back to Archulm or anyone like you, Seek, or any of the people that actually participated, and we could always. There wasn't as much responsibility on me. Now, of course, what I did for my birthday was a lot smaller as well because it was just me. In case you don't know, I streamed for 12 hours to raise money for Mermaids, a UK-based charity, and I'm technically still raising money for Mermaids in the sense that I committed to 100% of everything that I own through merch or Twitch in April will go into that campaign.
Fantastic.
Which I guess we'll know somewhere mid-May how much that still is, but it is a lot more because there are some idiots, Sans, that keep donating like 5K in bits. Madman. I think he's here, so I feel comfortable calling him out on that. So is that sort of I feel it's an adequate answer, right? Like Save and Raid, it wasn't my first charity thing, so in that case, it didn't really, in terms of a philosophy or whatever, change much in me because it was more of a culmination of what I was already working on and thinking about. But it definitely gave me an easy way into doing this stuff on my own, or at least for myself as an organizing party instead of just I'm gonna show up and try to raise money for stuff.
No, I think what you're saying, to put it in a nutshell, is that you transition from being a participant to being someone who was actively in the building phase of the charity stream. And that was a challenge that you set for yourself, and you not only achieved it, you blew it out of the water. And so that gives you the confidence to step forward and, take on other challenges.
I do think we all need to maybe adjust our expectations a little bit, because I feel like after the 10th time of going, we never expected this. It might get a little old.
Like getting tattoos or.
Yeah, speaking of which, when are the tattoos happening?
Whenever tattoo parlors open up again.
Yeah, I tried to get mine, and my artist is like 6 months out at this point.
Yeah. I think at this point they are open, within sort of a limited capacity in the Netherlands, but their backlog of like appointments, because they need about almost a year of people whose appointments they had to cancel to come back in, I guess. So I haven't really checked, but I'm kind of assuming it'll take a while.
So basically,
Also,
in time for Save and Raid 2.
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah. I also still need to think about what I actually want, right? Because I committed to a tattoo of a floppy disk, correct? I mean, that there's a lot of leeway there. It's going to be a floppy disk, but it might be a beautiful one, or an ugly one, or a basic one, or a, you know what I mean? Like, you can do a lot with a tattoo, basically. Like, show me
true.
10 tattoos of a snake, and they're all going to be very different.
It's just a flesh-colored floppy disk.
I knew you were going there.
Also, placement.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Yeah.
I don't know where yet.
Right.
Somewhere I can show off on Twitch, I feel.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't want to put the floppy disk where the hard drive goes. So
it's a tattoo that you can only see when you're personally not floppy. Is that what you're saying? All right, good.
No comment.
So
you hit a year. Was it this month or last month? Last month, right? Last month.
And last month, I started streaming March 28, 2020.
Fantastic. Let's say we have people in chat right now. Obviously, most of them are streamers, as we're all kind of streamers involved in each other's streams. But if you were giving advice to people just starting out, or people who had been thinking about streaming, like you said, you were thinking about streaming for years and years before you actually just went, okay, I'm going to start doing it. How would you kind of give people advice? Just generic, like, this is my story, this is how I did it. I mean, you touched on it earlier, obviously, with your origin story, which I love, by the way.
I have a few things. I've mentioned some of it before on my own stream, but I spent some time thinking about it today as well. I think the first one is specifically related to my origin story, is just do it. You know, and I get this a lot from other creatives that I follow, for instance, like artists on Twitter and stuff like that. Everybody always has that question of, okay, how do I do X? And the answer should always be just do it. Like, don't think about what it should be. Don't, wait until you're 100% happy with it. Just start. I started with, like, I had a webcam, I had a shitty headset microphone, and that was it. Which, I mean, again, that's something, I guess. And I'm also not saying that the stream now is that much more involved, but you don't need a lot. You also almost don't need a webcam if you have a laptop with a built-in one, or if you have a phone.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So don't look at partners. Don't even look at me, right? And think, oh shit, I can't stream because I don't have a green screen yet. Fuck that. The only reason I have a green screen is because what's behind here is really boring, and I don't have. This is sort of a roof is like this.
Uh-huh.
So this room is actually really small, so I can't really put up like interesting shelving or whatever. So that's the reason I bought a green screen. I think 3 days into streaming, just because I thought it looked horrible.
Mm.
Just start, and also in terms of why I didn't just start, ignore your brain telling you you're not good enough yet. Ignore your brain telling you nobody's waiting for this. Like, who's waiting for a 34-year-old dude streaming old games? Like, who cares? Don't think about that. Who cares if they care? Do it if you want to do it, or even if you don't know if you want to do it, do it if you want to
Just try it.
Yeah. Just
For the
just
love
do
of
it.
God, do not look at your viewer count. Stream like there's always somebody watching.
Yeah, a
Yes,
lot of people
absolutely.
actually recommend just turn that off.
Do as I say.
It's
not
much
as I do.
easier.
It's a thing with me. I cannot turn it off. I don't know why. It makes me feel like I'm not online if I turn it off. I've done it a few times. It legitimately makes me wonder if I'm still, which is ridiculous because people in chat are talking and it's whatever. For some reason, it makes me extremely uncomfortable turning it off. However, I feel like I'm very good at ignoring the number. Like, I need to be able to see it, I guess, for some reason. But I can't ignore it, and I always, like, my streams generally don't start with people in chat, right? Generally my streams start, and then, I don't know, either a minute later or 5 minutes later, people show up. I always start my stream as if people are already there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, it helps me sort of get into we're streaming instead of having to wait for someone to be in chat and say something. No, I'm streaming. I'm on, basically.
I turn
Right?
my mic on and it's good evening, everybody, or
Yeah. Or maybe I do it. There's an element of that I do it for the YouTube VODs, for instance, right? Because that, even if no one's watching, it's still going to be a
That's
thing
right.
for a long time on the internet. So I kind of want to do that. But I just, in general, I agree with what Haggard is saying. Just stream always stream as if someone's watching. Whether or not you look at the viewer count, don't turn it off, even though I apparently can't.
oh yeah, I don't follow my own advice. That's ridiculous. I've got my
Do as,
phone up
do as we
and my
say.
keyboard right in front of me.
It's the beard. It's the beard, man. We all think, like, we all accept your inherent authority.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
You do
a bad
have
idea.
you do have the longest beard out of all of us. Just saying.
It's true, and you'll know the longer the better. I don't know if that's true. The other thing is,
Really thin. No, I'm just.
the other thing is, if we're actually talking about like advice, prioritize investing in audio.
Yes.
Nobody gonna care what your face looks like, but if you sound like shit, it's really annoying, right?
What are you talking
about?
I don't know.
Ooh, that one's good.
Yeah, I'm not perfect at that as well. Like, I have I mean, to me anyway, there's microphones that are like 10 times more expensive, but to me, this is a fairly expensive microphone. I don't always use it well. Like, I'm not an audio person, so I still have stuff to do. And in terms of other investments, like, my stream isn't perfect. All my lamps broke, and I haven't, like, 6 months ago they broke, and I haven't replaced them yet. So I probably should, right? But again, that isn't as important as sounding correctly. Having said that, I personally think that you should stream with camera.
Yes.
specifically for the community.
I find it very hard to be interested in watching somebody play a game when I can't see them, because a lot of it is seeing their reaction
Yeah.
to certain events.
It's I'm not telling you don't stream if you don't want to stream with camera. Just again, the core rule is always just do whatever the fuck you want. Right? Don't listen to anyone. Do what you want. However, and I'm also not talking about, hey, I'm not feeling great. I look like shit. I don't like the way I look today. I'm turning it off today. That's also like fine.
That's different.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But
And
if
that's
we're
just
talking
my
about,
opinion, I'm not saying you have to do. Yeah, I'm not
no,
saying you
exactly.
have to do
Yeah,
it.
no, absolutely. But I do think that if we're talking about streaming as community building, I personally have more of an issue relating to people if I can't see them. And I
Yes.
don't think I'm alone in that.
No, you're 100%.
And if your philosophy about streaming is like it is with me and other people, that it's technically not about the video game,
Yeah.
then people need that connection. Having said that, there are, which means that there's a limit to sort of the streamers that I like that 100% go without camera. They are there because they sound amazing.
Mm.
Like some streamers have wonderful voices that I don't particularly care that I like. Calamity Kate is a big example. I don't even know what she looks like. Like there's I think 3, maybe 4 streamers that I sometimes watch to regularly watch that don't stream with camera. She is the only one that I don't even know what she looks like, which is I think by design. But she has a wonderful Austrian accent, and I will always listen to that.
Or
So
like Carol, who just has a picture up
Yes.
when she streams.
That's another one.
yeah, or I don't look. This is one of those things where I just feel incredibly old, but I don't technically know what a VTuber is. Is that a thing?
Yes.
That I've heard
So
the term.
it's basically that 3D animated avatar,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And there's one
just
streamer that I watch that is consistently what they do. But see, the difference between that and just somebody who's just a voice is at least that VTuber thing gives me the illusion of reactions. It's like watching an animated show.
Yeah, for
Has
sure.
anybody here ever checked out Marty Moinkler?
Yeah. Yeah, Mighty
He
Monikers, yeah.
streams, and it's essentially a video loop of some huge fat guy smoking a cigar, and it's not him. It's he's doing the voiceover while it looks like this dude is just playing video games or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can tell like the voice doesn't match the person, and it's hilarious. But if you don't feel like, there are ways around it. Be creative.
Yeah,
If
be
you
creative. I think that's the
feel
best.
comfortable,
Sure. Yeah,
putting your
absolutely.
face up there, like there's something you can do. Just give
I
something more than
definitely. I
like
think
you're watching somebody play a video game.
I think we're all on the same page with what we're saying, and I think that means that there's no set rule of you have to have a camera. Maybe it's more that not having one should be a decision that you then put work into uh, justifying that decision instead of just not doing it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
I think that's the key difference. Is if you're not going to stream with a camera because you don't want to, right? There's a reason behind it, and you're going to be adamant about it. Then you have to find other ways for people to get really interested in your stream and your content because they can't connect with your face. We're all naturally designed to connect with the human face, and that's why there's so many, AI algorithms out there doing face detection because it's trying to simulate that for our benefit, or supposedly, right? Let's not get too far down the rabbit hole here. But at the core of it,
For
that's
someone's benefit,
right.
Sure.
That's how we work. And so if we don't have that, we need something to latch onto quickly. Because if you're gonna imagine if you're trying to grow your audience per se, right? Like some of us are trying to grow our audience, some of us don't care. But if you're trying to grow your audience, you want to capture them in a few moments, right? You come in from a raid. What's going to snap their attention? So if you don't have the camera, if you don't have the setup, it's like, what is it? The beard. Obviously, it's the beard.
I was more talking about like the entire package, but okay, fine.
No, just
Fine.
from the nose down.
Yeah. There
I'll
we go.
stream like this.
There you go. Oh, actually, that's a good look for you.
Yeah, oh, thanks. I think. You know what? Cover your eyes. You look better that way. Okay.
That's not what I said. I just said it's a good look.
Yeah, I know you do. Other tips. Yeah, I mean, we're moving more and more into like minutia, I think, right? Like, again, invest in audio, invest in everything if you want to, and when you know that you like streaming and you want to continue with it,
Absolutely.
don't feel like you have to straight away. But if you want to do that, but then prioritize audio over other things. Other than that, I don't know. Just, play what you want to play.
Yes.
I've done it a few times where it's not that I didn't want to play it, but I thought I did and I didn't want to.
Yeah, at that point, I'll just change games. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's okay. And it's also okay, you know, I know that there's a portion of my viewers that would really like it if I started speedrunning a certain game, or if I did like, I don't know, no loads, no meds stuff for Tomb Raider or custom levels or stuff like that. It's not for me.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
The reason why I say it is because, yes, it might get you viewers, but you'll not last. Like if you start treating this as something that you don't like, but you have to do for another reason, then it's just a job that
you're gonna
hate
hate
you're
it.
burning yourself out, and it is just a job that pays miserably. So why?
Yeah.
Like I already have a job that pays badly. Why would I want another one?
Yeah, one that requires a lot more effort on the back end.
Right. Also, if people hop into your chat and ask you if you want to become famous, definitely click those links.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, that's great advice.
Send them all to Hager too, because he's clicked most of them. But in case he missed one,
Yeah.
you have to click all of them, otherwise it doesn't work.
My God, they were really.
26 has been my max.
Wow.
This has been more than half a year ago, but I had 26 bots coming in at the same time. It was wild.
I think at the beginning of this is the most I've had at one time.
That was a lot.
Mm.
Yeah. In terms of community building, set your own boundaries and your own philosophies about what you want your community to look like, and stick to that, which means not accepting anyone that goes beyond those boundaries, not even if it makes you feel bad because you want to grow your audience. You would rather have, trust me, you would rather have a small audience that you completely agree with than a large audience of shitheads.
Yeah.
That's just, again, it's long-term thinking, right?
Speaking of shitheads.
Yes. Yes.
You're looking.
Are you looking my way?
I guess you're looking at all of us.
Yeah.
Who just came into the chat and is like extremely offended right
It's
now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bear is here. Welcome, Bear.
No, but it's really important. I honestly, the big stuff I'm obviously very strict about. Like there's just some things that if you come into my chat and you say certain things or you act in a certain way, you're out, you're done, whatever. There's some small stuff that I'm not always happy about, and where it's always a sort of a struggle between me being very bad at confrontation and still wanting to foster a certain community and also feeling very responsible for that community, right? So there's it's never as black and white as I would like it to be, right? Which isn't to say that I wanted to ban people but didn't. That's not what I'm talking about. But still, there's certain behavior that is fine on when you only think about it in the moment, and then when you start thinking what that kind of behavior encourages, especially in new people, right? Because there's a definite difference between someone who's been in my chat for about a year, like Fish, for instance. Fish, I've met through Fish hands through streaming, but at this point, I've been to her house, right? She's been to my house. We know each other very well. She's a very good friend, which means that even though she's a chat member, she can talk to me in a way that if someone who just came into the chat and I didn't know, if they did that,
Yeah,
that's
you wouldn't
different.
allow it. Yeah.
Yeah. However, the person coming in doesn't know that I've known Fish forever. So that is something that I'm still sometimes struggling with, like the behavior that you accept from people because you accept it from them or because you encourage it even. What does that do for your stream as a thing on the internet that people can be new at? Because what I would hate to be is sort of a very closed off niche thing where it's just it's impenetrable, right? You can't get into this community because we're all so incredibly in jokey that it's impossible to relate to anything. Or you start acting the same way and everybody looks at you funny because, hey, who the fuck are you to call me
Right.
X thing, even though literally 5 other people just called me that because I've known them for a year.
Yeah.
That's difficult, right? This is beyond sort of advice and more stuff that I think about in terms of streaming, but it's that I think about that a lot, and I think that's continuous work, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult to have so many different groups of people, like subgroups within your community, who, you know, some of them have known you for a long time and you have a certain relationship with them, and some of them are new, and you're starting to build that relationship, and there's that clear disparity between your levels of relationship. But it's the same thing in real life. It's just you usually don't have like parties with people that you've known for 50 years and people that you've known for 5 minutes at the same time and mash them together and expect them all to, you know, commingle. So it's a delicate balance. I think you handle it well, because I remember one of your first streams that I was ever in due to a raid, probably Artium Havoc. I said something that you didn't deem was appropriate, but you gave me a slap on the wrist. And you're like, listen, like, I know the context that you meant that in. We don't want that kind of content here. And I was like, okay, my bad. And we moved on. Some people might get offended at that and be like, well, you know, I heard somebody else say it, or I thought that was your kind of stream or whatever. But we were both mature about the situation, and it has no bearing, you know, on our relationship now.
Coming from primarily as an online place to be, coming from Twitter, I am still continually surprised by how mature people handle that stuff. Like, even people in my Discord, for instance, who've been there forever, and they step out of what I apparently have thought of as a line. And trust me, I think about that for a day, and then I say something, right? Like, or I do something, but I worry about, did I handle that correctly? That none of that is handled lightly, but still, it all comes back to the fact, like, whether or not people think I deserve that or whatever, those are spaces that I quote unquote own. So I have a responsibility.
Well,
And
you're very good at communicating that, though. Like, if you spend a day thinking about why you did this, or like you communicate that to everybody in Discord, like, okay, maybe, you know, that wasn't appropriate. I didn't feel that way, but it made these other people feel uncomfortable, so I took this action. You know,
yeah,
and
yeah, that
you're
happens.
really good about that. Yeah.
Yeah, but my point being that I always half expect people to absolutely lose their shit, because that is sort of what you've been taught to expect from people
On
online.
the internet,
That if
yeah.
you call them out on, that if you call them out on stuff, that they go, well, fuck you, and then they leave, which happens. Not as much in my Discord, but I've seen it happen.
Yeah, I think
But
it's more far
I'm
and few between, at least in our experience, right?
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. But that's the thing. I mean, at this point, I guess I'm getting used to it, but I'm still so surprised at how mature people handle that stuff, and they go, oh yeah, okay, even if they don't agree with it, respecting that relationship of, hey, this is, I feel responsible for this space, so what I say, you know, I try to explain it, but in the end, I say it, so that's how it's going to go, right? That's just how that works. We can definitely talk about it, but you're not going to change my mind on. You can change my mind on certain things, but on other things, you definitely won't be. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just me going, oh God, I hope they don't hate me now that I've said something, and they always just go like, oh yeah, you're no fair, good, thanks for letting me know. And that, what you're talking about as well, I don't remember the incident, but I think that's the point, right? I think that
Exactly.
that's also the point. Like, we're not holding grudges here.
Right.
We're not. Nobody that steps out of line, even stepping out of line sounds so ridiculous. What I'm more saying, like, even, especially if you just don't know that that is a boundary, if
Right.
you go over,
Exactly.
nobody is laboring under the assumption that that person is now forever a horrible shithead. You know, it's just a thing that happened, and we can all learn, and we all make mistakes. Hell, I say the B word sometimes, even though I really try not to.
Bogle?
Yes.
I
Or
think
what?
you beard.
That's why I hate your bot so much. Beard? That's a problem. If I couldn't say beard. Chin covering. Ooh.
Ugh.
I don't like that.
What about
It makes it sound moldy.
chin rug, chin carpet?
Chin gives a different definition to the term carpet munching if it's a chin
Mhm,
carpet.
there you go. We could say chin shag, but that's also another
How you doing?
definition.
Chin merkin. I like it. I like it.
Chin market. Redacted. Oh.
Yeah. A smirking. That's
Bearded redacted is probably more clever.
So, I do have the one final question to rule them all.
All right.
Is there anything personal to you or something weird in color that you did want to hit upon?
So the final question is: do you have any questions for yourself?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, not really. We talked about charity.
Mhm.
I find that very important. I briefly mentioned it. I kind of want to mention it again. You know, since I became affiliate, 50% of everything that I earn. That's the word I was going for when I said own. Earn. Through Twitch, through TeePublic, it all goes into two charities that are dear to my heart. They're national ones, but one of them works internationally. It's one of them is the oldest existing charity for LGBTQIA plus rights in the world. Started out as the Shakespeare Club in the
By the way,
1940s.
bravo for getting all those letters and acronyms out with a single breath and not flinching.
right.
I can't do that. That's good practice.
Yeah, I guess. Don't ask me what they all mean, though.
Yeah, but nobody said, nobody wondered. The fact that you just know them like that, bro.
I also still said plus because you might, you're bound to forget something. Which is not. I'm not making fun of the fact that there are an increasing number of letters in that acronym. I think that's great.
I also didn't know until you mentioned earlier, and again now, and I'm glad you mentioned it, is that you do donate half of what you earn to charity. I had no idea.
It's something I wanted to do. I technically stole it from, if I don't remember his name, Lily Jericho's friend in the UK who started streaming, and I totally agree. Butts. See, this is what Buttspot. No.
Bam,
Who
Buttspot.
started donating all of it, and I thought, I kind of want to use some of that money to improve
Yeah.
the stream.
I mean,
'Cause
like you said,
streaming is
compensating streamers or content creators for their work, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I also don't think anybody should feel bad if they don't do what I do, for instance. Like,
Right.
yes, you earn that money.
Yeah, you
right?
choose to do with it what you will.
At this point, I always say 50% goes back into the stream, which implies that I only put money into the stream that I earn through Twitch. But I mean, at this point, I think this microphone was more than that,
Mhm.
plus the games that you need and stuff like that. But I wanted to do that. I've been a member of the COC, which is that LGBTQIA plus charity for a couple of years now, because I came out as pansexual. I mean, I officially came out last year, but I've been that or whatever. My wife's known that that's all sort of my line of, okay, when did I tell my wife, which is about 4 years ago. So I've been a member of that one myself. They do stuff mostly in the Netherlands, but they help out smaller charities, especially in Africa,
Mhm.
which is very useful. And then the other one is the Transgender Network in the Netherlands, which again is, I mean, I think I say it in my own about section, but I feel that that's one of the bigger human rights causes right this moment, and I find that very important. So that's what I do. That's what I do with that. But yeah, but all the other charity stuff, it's basically whatever I come up with, right? Like Mermaids came about because I researched charities to stream for Save and Raid, and that came up. We ended up going with Save, which I'd never heard of until I found it when Archom said, "Can we do something with suicide prevention?" And I'm very happy that I found them because I think going with Save and working with the people from Save is partly why Save and Raid was so
Yeah.
successful.
Absolutely.
So I'm very happy about that. But through that, I found Mermaid, so I did some stuff for that. Extra Life, of course, is for children's hospitals. which again I didn't have anything to do with necessarily, but the Tomb Raider community picked that as a thing to do. So I don't know. We talked about that. That's important. I want to shout out some people.
Yeah, by all
Yeah,
means, this is
Like,
your hour. You know.
oh, thanks, Haggard. That's great. Yeah, the COC has an English language page, but you can all find that in my Discord or on my channel if you're interested. I think when I started out, there's been like a few people that were there basically since the beginning, and the fact that they're still here, and the fact that they're my friends now, is still wild. Not because I don't deserve them as friends or whatever, but more I don't know. It to have that so early, like Lady Croft, who I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure if he's here, Constantine. I think he started watching my stream since day 1 or 2,
Wow.
right? And because he was and is like a Tomb Raider streamer, he organizes uh, a big sort of Tomb Raider fan club in the Czech Republic. And so I guess he was just looking for Tomb Raider stuff. But he's still here. He's a good friend. Bearosaur, my first mod, my first sub.
No.
His
People,
favorite. No, I'm just kidding.
my favorite sub, sure.
Yeah.
Another beautiful bearded streamer, by the way.
Yes.
Oh God, so luscious,
So fluffy.
so fluffy. And then there's also people that this is what we're talking about when we're talking about community and building each other up. I feel like our Chom talked about that a lot in his episode, I guess, is the fact that we're all doing this together and we're all building each other up. Like I would not have become affiliate as quickly as I did, which it was within a month, if not for someone who I don't talk to as much anymore, but who's a very big Tomb Raider fan and also Tomb Raider streamer, Lily Jericho from Germany. Like she was there all the time in the beginning, and she talked me up to so many people. Like I needed, when you need those last few followers to get there, for instance, like she was always very much like, go to this person, he needs him, right? Or he wants him, or he's worth it. Conquise from Australia, he was the one that big raid, and all of a sudden I had what I needed, right? And again, that's not what it's about. I'm not trying to define these friendships through what they got me, but at the time it was just all so overwhelming, and I didn't know what I was doing, and all these. It's interesting to realize that the reason why I'm still doing it and why it's going so well and why I'm still so happy doing it is because of the people. To the extent that I sometimes forget, some of the games that I've played, right? Like there's some games that I played during the summer last year that if you told me I streamed them, I would probably go like, wait, what? But then if you remind me of like a thing someone said 6 months ago, or a weird thing that I don't know, there's a quote somewhere, but there's not a clip, and it's that was so fucking funny. That's hardly ever to do with the games, and it's mostly to do with the people, and that's wonderful.
I think what you're really saying again is not that these are people who helped build your streaming career, rather, but they're people who gave you support when you were,
Yeah.
young and vulnerable in the streaming world and starting out, kind of
When I was
unaware.
just a young ingenue
Exactly.
moving to the big city of streamers. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
And we all
Archon
have those
Havoc
people.
is of course yes. Oh fuck yeah! And for most of us here, I feel like it's Archon. Like Archon is. I looked this up because I wanted to make this reference and I wanted to make it stick. But Archon is my Ed Sullivan. I'm not sure if anybody would get that, but
I'm old enough.
I think everybody in chat is too young.
Yeah.
he's
Looking at
the
you,
one
Lady
that
Game God.
he's the one that helped me make it big in the US, basically. Right? The big thing that the Beatles did when they went to the US for the first time is they went on the Ed Sullivan show, and that was huge for them. Archon was my Ed Sullivan, and I will never forgive him for that. Stop thanking him for that. Like, I'm not saying I didn't have any US viewers, because time zones are weird and it's not always easy,
Yeah.
right? Like, you start out with mostly viewers from your own time zone. Oprez, of course, the big one. She's one of my mods as well, streamer that was there since the beginning. She's from. It's not the Richmond in Virginia. It's another one. Anyway, doesn't matter. I don't want to dox her. She's in a Richmond. You figure it out. But Artyom, like I've known like all the save and raid people, but even before that, like so many people through Artyom, and he's just an amazing one of those people that you really need, not just in your own community, but in your community of communities that has the not just the time and the not just the time and the wish to do so, but also the energy to build people up consistently. Because I try, right, and I think it's very important. But I also need to take breaks from social media, for instance. Like sometimes I'm not feeling it,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
don't think Artyom ever slows down. The only time that he slows down is when he takes a shower, but then he has all these ideas.
Yeah. I had one of his famous shower ideas today. It was fantastic.
It is pretty good. I get that for sure. The problem is that whenever Artyom has a shower idea, it means a lot of work for me. All of a sudden, I'm doing save and raid shit. So I'm worried. Like I'm texting Apple, could you please keep him dirty because I don't have time to do anymore.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And just, to give Artem Havoc a shout out, there are people in your life that you just connect with and they're always there to support you. And I think of all the communities that I've been in online and offline, um, I haven't been so privileged to meet so many people who are just willing to support each other, even, literally through just word of mouth. It's like somebody in your community never heard of me, but you raid me and they're like, yep, follow, I'll be here, supporting you. Like, what did I do to deserve that? Nothing. But it's just the compassion that we have for each other as a community, I think builds those ties quickly and it builds strong ties too.
You do things to deserve it though, because those people, Artyom, Lily, Konkis, I'm gonna forget people. I'm gonna not
Absolutely.
remember people, and they can be mad at me
You'll
later.
remember as soon as we stop streaming.
Oh, for sure. I want to mention Radgrid specifically for being a streamer where I felt like I really wanted to be a part of their community. Like I was very happy to have her specifically in mine, but she was one of the first where I was like, I would be here even if I wasn't a streamer.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I don't think is dissing anyone because I met her very early on. And the other one is actually not a streamer, but it's to my mind, I like that very much as an example of how far this community building can go. A chat member called Huskon, who is a
Yeah, Huskon. I can see it now in my head. The name.
who's a Swedish woman from the north of Sweden. Like at this point, I know her. I know her husband. I know at least one of her kids. Her I think her 5-year-old daughter knows who I am.
Wow.
She sent me a video of her 5-year-old daughter singing happy birthday to me, and we met through streaming.
That's amazing.
I love these people, and it's amazing how quickly and how strongly these bonds are created, but also it's a testament to Huskon specifically for being just an amazing and very funny person. And she's not a streamer, she's not like building up or whatever, but she often comments on how wonderful our community is, and it always makes me feel good. And it always, even at times where I feel like because I have moments where I feel like, oh man, not as many people as last time showed up, or shit, some people left as followers or whatever, or someone left the Discord. I try to ignore those things because I know they're not that important. But look, I'm only human. I'm not super confident about most things that I do. So I do have those feelings. And then stuff like that, who's gone telling me that or saying something in Discord or whatever, just makes my day, my week. And I'm very indebted to her for that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And you're right. There are people who I've met in the community who are not streamers, but they just show up. They're there to support you. They make friends with your friends, and it's an amazing.
A lot of night shift.
Yeah.
So Whenever I stream late, she's not got much to do, and she's just there, which is great. The reason why I brought those last two up was you mentioned like I didn't do anything, right, and they're just still showing up. There's a reason why all these people put the effort into building you up, right? Even though someone's followed you or someone showed up through a raid and technically you haven't done anything, whether it's community building or entertainment providing for those people specifically, but the raid came in because you've done what you've been doing, which is being, an open, welcoming person, an entertaining streamer, an internet idiot, all of the above. Not,
Beard,
I mean, you specifically, but also not you specifically, like more in
bearded.
general.
Don't forget the beard.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's very important.
Seriously, I wouldn't have half the viewers if I didn't have the beard.
Oh yeah.
It's my claim to fame.
I like it. I'm jealous.
Don't be jealous. Just keep growing it.
I mean, I will.
I like the way
it
yours
used
is
to be-
filling out.
Yeah.
It used to be fairly close to your length. Mine has never been that
There is a clip where I saw your beard longer.
filled out. Like it's never been that thick, with at least 5 C's. But it's been close to that length, and I want to get it back there. Also, I mean, I now have a personal brand Viking, so you can hook me up with a good cool thing, right? We'll talk.
Code Haggard15 save you 15%
Nice.
Or more.
on your card.
Tell them you're subscribed to him, and they'll give you an extra pity percentage.
There you go. 6.9%.
Exactly.
Cool.
Actually,
yeah.
I think it's somebody that I met through one of you. I could be wrong, since it all kind of just ties together. But somebody actually reached out to me recently because it was their husband's birthday, and they were like, "Oh, I want to get him a beard brush." So
Nice.
what was that
That's
code?
awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so,
That's good stuff. Like, I started using, I don't know, quote unquote stuff for my beard a couple of years back, and it's
I put stuff in my beard.
stuff for my beard.
Mayonnaise?
Mayo.
Yeah.
God damn it, Ronnie.
Great mind, great mind.
Oh,
That troll follows me everywhere.
the troll made up mayonnaise.
I mean, Archum has not forgiven me for comparing him to that guy in the picture, and I don't care. Kind of looks like Archum.
So, I'm excited to talk about your upcoming 24-hour stream, and I've got a little banner here. I'm gonna throw up if you'll indulge me.
Yeah. Oh, I should have a look at it too, because I mean, I know what I'm doing, but
Well, so it's full screen, so in case anybody's on mobile, so they can read it. So cameras are off, but they still hear our audio. But
all right, I'm gonna take off my pants. Wait, what?
yeah, go ahead. But while you're doing that, if you want to talk over it and just give us a brief rundown.
Yeah. So one of the things that I do is I stream for 24 hours. That came about because of some promises that I made to my viewers for reaching certain milestones. And then I made the mistake to include more 24-hour streams as rewards for donation incentives for, I think, Extra Life it was. So I am contractually obligated in a way. There's no contract, and I could stop if I wanted to, but I kind of really like it. But I'm scheduled, I guess, to do 12 24-hour streams in total. And what I usually do is I plan one, and then to announce the new one, I wait until the next one is done, basically.
I love that.
But
It's a secret to everybody.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that one.
I just mean the
what I-
reference. The reference.
Yeah. Hey, I just finished that game, or I mean, I'm already at Ocarina of Time now, but it's for those who don't know, it's a original Legend of Zelda reference. Anyway, I thought it was a nice scoop for Between Two Beards to maybe talk about all the stuff. So
Yes,
I don't
yes.
know. We don't really need to go over.
No, whatever you want to discuss. It's your time, my friend.
Well, sure. We don't need to go over every individual one, but this is what the upcoming year of 24-hour streams will be. I'm very excited. The next one is this Saturday. That's pretty important. I'm going to be all on my own because my wife, she even took the dog. Anyway, I'm going to drive my wife over to her parents, and she's going to stay there for the weekend. So I'm going to have to take care of myself, which is probably not going to go very well.
Just set up Cat Food Mountain. You're good to go.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Order lots of pizza.
So yeah,
it
this is what it's going to be. After that, it's going to be a lot of indie games, which I like. I am, as is our good friend Haggard and some other people, a humble partner. So I'm going to try and squeeze in as many indie games as I can that I can promote for that.
He is obligated to play Celeste for me at some point
True.
as well.
Yeah, that
Really?
is very true. Yeah, I've played it before, but I've never finished it. I can't guarantee that I will, but one of the things that's regardless of the 24-hour streams, one of the things that I have a tendency to do is sabotage myself by promising other people that they can tell me what I can do. Today and the stream that is about to start at some point is a good example of that. So yeah, Haggard is definitely going to make me play Celeste. I think we scheduled a date somewhere down the line, somewhere in May, I think. Yeah.
I definitely got to catch that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna swear a lot.
Good.
I like
love
those
that.
kind of games, but I'm very bad at it, so I'm gonna swear a lot. But the reason I like them is I don't care if your game is hard as long as you make me not wait to try again. And I think
Yes.
Celeste is like you die and you go again, which is great. I like that.
Yeah, I love that about it too. It motivates you to keep going. Whereas games where you know, like Tomb Raider, where you advance a significant amount of time and you die, you have to repeat that. It's very discouraging.
Yeah, for sure.
Wednesday, June 9th is what we
All right, that makes sense.
Oh, of course, 6-9. I get it.
Yeah, that was totally on purpose. Just before 24-hour stream number 8. I'm not doing 24-hour streams in July and August because this attic gets extremely hot, and if I spend 24 hours straight in here during the summer, I will die.
Yeah,
So
it's a good way to
that's
lose
not
weight.
hard.
It's like a sauna.
It's already hot enough.
yeah, it's also a good way to lose your breath. It's really not pleasant. Multiple shorter streams is definitely the way to go in the summer.
Got it.
It's fine. In the winter, I freeze my ass off, so it's like it's a nice balance, right?
It's always a balance.
I'm especially excited about 24-hour stream volume 10,
Oh, let me bring it back
BeardedBogle's
up.
video games,
There you go.
because that will be as many games as I remember from my very early childhood, like the first video games that I played, which is all like DOS shareware stuff. Like stuff that I've never heard anyone ever talk about, like Superplex, which is it's an amazing puzzle game. It's wonderful, but it's the sort of the top left in the art there in like the tile. It's weird, but I love it.
Oh, I see the one on the picture there.
Yeah. So the one all the way to the right is for BeardedBogle's video game stream. The game on the bottom is a game called Captain Comic, and the game on the top left is Superplex. It's sort of Pac-Man, but more involved. It's cool. I played it a lot. Anyway, those are not the only two, but we'll fill a nice stream with that.
But you're really looking forward to that is really what you're getting at. Nostalgic and it's fun.
The problem with 24-hour streams is that they're not healthy, but I really like doing them. Like they're not good for me.
It is fun. I can't wait to do my next one.
Yeah, it's murder on my throat, on my schedule. I am basically tired for at least the week after. We're getting too old for this shit.
Yeah.
But that's another reason why you should start streaming early, so that you can do all that young people shit.
Yeah.
Like play Fortnite, I guess. But yeah, no, I'm. It's so much fun. I like thinking about. I think that's what I like in terms of planning. I like thinking about themes and concepts to wrap the stream with, basically.
Mhm.
So to think of like let's do this for 12 hours straight as a thing just makes me happy. Yeah.
Are you streaming after this?
I am.
You
Yes.
are? And what are you playing?
I am playing a game that Taya BSR in chat is making me play, and I know nothing about it. It's called The Beginner's Guide. It's from the maker of the Stanley Parable, which is a very cool indie game that I played a lot of when that came out.
Sounds familiar.
It's very meta. I'm assuming it's going to be very meta.
I've heard of the Beginner's Guide, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah. I think there's a pretty, not hefty, but there's definitely a sort of a content warning there. It goes deep into mental health issues and stuff like that, but that's not necessarily something that we should shy away from, I think. So
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
excited to find out.
Did you play the Stanley Parable on your stream recently, within the last 3 months?
No, I haven't
then
played it for
I
years
think
now.
I saw, maybe I didn't have it played.
I should still start it up at some point because that game has an achievement that you don't play it for 5 years and then you play it again.
Really?
Yeah, there's a Steam achievement to like you get that achievement if you don't play it for at least 5 years between your last time playing it and then starting it up again. And I haven't started up since 2014, I think. I
Yeah,
don't
I
really
should check
remember.
that out. It's been a while since
Fantastic.
I've played it.
It's very strange. It's
Yeah.
not that long. Well, it's as long as you
Make it,
Right.
basically.
but it's
Yeah.
very weird. But
Speaking of weird,
yes.
I think we have some clips to show.
Yeah. So when you're ready, so we're gonna raid you right after this, Bubble.
Yes.
Cool. So when you want to start getting ready, we're gonna roll the clips, and as soon as you're ready, we'll just transition you right on over.
Sounds good. Well, thank you
before
so
that-
much for.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to thank you for having me. I feel like I talked a lot.
No, that's what we
I
want.
knew,
Like,
I knew that was going to happen. So
we want you to have a medium in which you're literally able to discuss these things where you may feel not necessarily as comfortable, but less restricted to talk about them on your stream, because I know you have a very genuine humility about you, and I know you don't want to just like toot your own horn, and that's what this is about. And rather than do it on your stream where you kind of feel like maybe this isn't the message I want to be sending, that's exactly the message we want to be sending here. So
Lady Game Guy says, "Don't worry, Bogle. I'll talk way more than you." Yeah, but you're just going to talk about coffee. That's different.
and doggos, and
No, I really appreciated this. Not just having me on, but this is a great idea. This is one of those.
all
you know,
Haggadation.
This is a
Who?
top tier shower idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
You, my friend. No, this is great. I'm
That's a great
really
idea.
excited to see who else you can snag for this stuff, because it's a lot of fun to do, but it's also just very interesting to listen to it. Well, maybe not this one.
No,
Don't
that's
say
definitely
that.
this one. Yeah.
No,
I wasn't listening to myself. I just
Trust
thought,
me,
I don't know.
you're gonna go back and watch. You're gonna be like, "Oh, I didn't realize how eloquent I sounded while saying it."
Yeah, God, that fucker is clever and handsome.
Yes, and handsome, absolutely.
sounds
Triple.
handsome.
Triple threat. What's the third thing? I'll never tell.
So we did agree to brush our beard.
Yes.
So while we're doing that, I'll get into the whole spiel.
So-
Anybody who's interested,
Let me grab my brush. Go for it.
get a hold of us. We'd love to have you, whether you have been streaming for a while, just started streaming, haven't started but have thought about it. Shoot me a message here, Discord. I will post a link to Disc.
You know what I think you should do? Is, I mean, I'm not objective here, because I'm saying basically let me do a thing. But what you should do is ask every guest who they would suggest, like at least one person that they would suggest should be on at some point.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And that's another thing too, as I've mentioned to people, is if you know somebody in general who would like to be on, send them our way. We had somebody in chat last night. You have that name, right? It was like Baby T double D's. Or
Oh
something.
yeah. We got a suggestion last night in Haggard's stream.
Haggard's remembering the double D specifically, I guess.
Yes.
Well, I made a joke about it at the time. That's probably why he remembers.
Mrs. Bogle says, "Thanks, guys. This was fun." I'm not sure why she thinks that, because I do this to her all the time.
But at least this time she didn't have to actively listen. She could just like
Oh,
tune you
bullshit.
out when she wanted.
Right.
That is true. If she is actively listening, I can't really do a thing on the on the internet without showing off my dog. So if she could bring over a banana, that would be probably
That
much
would be
appreciated by at least some people in chat.
Also, tomorrow we are doing another
I know, right? Imagine
episode.
that. 2 in a single week.
Awesome.
We are getting the actual
Lady Gaga.
Lady Game done. Apparently.
Maybe Lady Gamega can show up also.
Yeah.
We can talk.
She might
shit.
make a guest appearance
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
if we can get her back.
That is going to be at 12 p.m.
Sorry.
Bogle wants to tell everybody what the other time zones are.
I think I put that on
Yeah, he's good at that.
12 p.m. your time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
So
means
basically,
9 a.m. Sikh's time and 6 p.m. mine.
yeah, 2 hours earlier than we started today. Which hopefully that works for you, Bobo. Hopefully you can join us.
It's a little early, but no, it's fine. I'm not streaming. I'm streaming today, so I'm not streaming tomorrow
Right.
because I gotta prepare for being awake for 24 hours.
Also, after tomorrow's stream, I will be guest appearing on Lady Game Guy's
It's a
stream,
big dog.
Nice.
and we will be playing It Takes Two together.
Oh, you're starting that tomorrow. Fantastic.
Oh, nice. I want to
so
see.
nice.
Hi,
Also,
Lady Bogle.
after this stream ends,
Look at the
I will
doggo.
be throwing up a
Yeah, I'll pick her up when I'm done.
on our T Public store, where you can get Between Two Beards merch.
Nice.
I will be putting up a T-shirt with Lady Gamega on it. That will be available for the next week or so.
Could you give me a towel?
Nice. A t-shirt. I dig it.
That's awesome.
With your fantastic work of art. You're becoming a real artist. You and Chester Malice should get a little collaboration going on.
Artiste, yes.
He puts a little bit more body. I know you prefer your models thin. T-shirtception, yeah.
See, I have a lot less beard to work with, so I'm done. Do you
Well-
ever? You say the works. Have you ever said what the works actually is?
Oh yeah.
You should work
oil,
with those brand
brush.
deals.
I use the oil and the comb and the brush.
Nice.
It varies.
I have. Look, I'm not sponsored, but I'm gonna say this. I use Gardenza stuff. It's beard oil, and then I put in. It's a tin. It's called Beard Balm, and I don't actually have a brush. I just have a wooden comb.
Yeah.
So brush it up a bit and then
Nice.
down again.
Nice visor, Seek.
Yeah, I had to do it to get the rest of the oil out of my hands into my hair, and it's still there's still a little
Usually
bit
I
of
do
stuff.
this in the
Yeah.
bathroom so I can wash my hands, but
No, I'm just gonna rub it all over my shirt and all over my neck. Bathe in it.
my suggestion for who you should have on, specifically because I really like that I don't always agree with everything that we. That's I should rephrase this. You should have Radgrid on because first of all, she's an amazing streamer. She's a very funny person.
She is.
And a very wonderful person. Rad, if you're still there, you should do this. It's a lot of fun. It's extremely awkward, but it's also a lot of fun.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
The
No,
best
but what I like about that is that Radgrid is one of those people that is very. She thinks about these things almost as much as I do. I feel, but we don't always agree on things. But that's not a problem. You know what I mean? Like it's wonderful having those discussions because we can always see eye to eye. So I'm actually like legitimately if I want to know everybody's thoughts on these things, but I definitely just if top of my head, who do you want to also answer these questions? It's definitely Rad. I talk a lot. Yeah, I mean you're a streamer, you have to.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's better for the audience. They're here to see our guest. So it's better when our guest is more vocal about their thoughts and their desires and everything. Oh, that dog! That dog was
Yeah.
screaming.
Banana.
No, actually, it was just the noise of nails on floor. But crotch shot. What up?
Cord shot.
Cork shot. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, you want snack? Oh, you can have snack.
Where's my floof? Floof.
You don't want snack?
He's
You don't
like,
me?
I'm paranoid right now.
I'm gonna go get my floof.
Yeah, I'm being overly friendly.
Yeah, like this is unusual. I like those colors. That nice kind of golden tan color with the black back. It's
She's very
fantastic.
pretty. Very pretty. Yeah. I think she doesn't like the
The smell of the
smell
oil,
of
yeah,
my beard stuff. Yeah.
could be that.
She's like, what is this?
She's like, "Why are you rubbing this all over me?"
There's a floof.
Kitty. Hey, Banana, you should be interested in that. Go bark
There you
at the
go.
kitty.
She's like, "I can't smell it, so I don't know what's there."
Yeah. What do you want? What do you want?
Now, since you've got Banana here, how did you come up with that name?
I mean, it's not that I don't think it's an interesting story. My wife and I both were thinking about names, and all the names that I came up with, she thought were way too nerdy, and all the names that she came up with, I thought were way weren't nerdy enough. So we weren't really seeing eye to eye on that. And at some point, I think we joked about Banana.
We wanted to have a bunny. I wanted to have a bunny named Banana.
Oh, we wanted to have a bunny named Banana, apparently. And then I think we looked at each other like, wait,
Not a bad
that's
name.
actually not a bad name. And bananas are my favorite fruit, so it kind of for me it worked.
Well, there you go.
And it's just really funny shouting that across like a field.
Banana.
Banana, get over here. Oh yeah, that's if we're still talking about streaming. Also, don't start streaming in the same year you get a puppy. Is honestly a very bad idea because all of a sudden you want to do a lot of streaming stuff, but also you have to do a lot of dog stuff. Like we've never had a dog before, so it's been an interesting year. It's been a great year, but combining it with streaming was probably not the best idea in hindsight. I don't think.
I'll put this out here too. Anybody who's been on, if you ever want to come back on for whatever reason.
All right, I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want more abuse from beards, then yeah, please come back.
We have yet to announce what we're doing next week. Mainly because we haven't figured it out yet. My work
Secret's
schedule
out.
is going to hell. Yeah, secret's out. We do things at the last minute here.
Yeah, that drawing of you literally 5 minutes before you showed up.
Yeah, that I figured. Look, it looks very nice, but
So I spent a lot of time on that. Come on.
no, sorry.
Yeah, my work schedule is going to hell. I have no idea what's going to be happening with that. So we'll deal with it as it happens, I guess.
I think I'll leave you two to wrap up so I can prep
Yep.
my stream. I think
Now it's clip
I'll
time.
need like 5 minutes. You'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, we're just
Chat,
gonna play
thank you
some
so much for
beautiful
hanging out.
clips.
Sorry that I've not really been acknowledging you. I was talking, I guess.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
So here's the thing. Does it help if I promise never to watch the VOD of what is about to happen?
No.
So that you know that you can consequence-free talk as much shit about me as you want.
No, we're just gonna play clips and go to sleep.
My wife is literally running downstairs now to watch so that she doesn't miss whatever. I said that and she was like and left the room. God damn it.
She's gonna be just talking mad shit about you.
I was watching your episode with our chum, and you do talk a bit when he leaves, but you were way too nice about it. So I figured you were all like worried, like, oh, he's gonna see that. So what if I hand to heart promise never to watch it? I'm still gonna watch it.
Good.
Yeah,
I hope you watch it.
Yeah, of course I do. All right, friends. Thank
Thanks,
you
BeardedBogle.
so much. This is an amazing thing that you're doing. It's part of what we're talking about, right? Community building, raising each other up. It's
Absolutely.
wonderful. Haggard, your beard looks wonderful. Teak, luscious as always. I like the gray streaks.
Yes, I'm gonna
I'm
keep
getting that a
those.
little to this. I'm getting that a little to the side, but in this light, it looks very ginger. All of a sudden.
It does look very like orange brown.
Mm.
Yep. The gray ain't going anywhere, so hope you like it.
I do.
Thank you.
I do.
We will see you on
So-
your stream momentarily.
Yes, I'll be live at some point.
Thank
soon.
you. Thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Peace.
Peace.
Everybody, please stick around for the raid. We're going to be watching some a clip reel that Bogle put together for his 1 year. It's fairly long, but we'll just play it until he's ready, I think. So, thank you, everybody.
Can I dab? Is that a thing I can do? I'm too old to dab. Let's try that again. Okay, sure, that's a thing. Don't clip that, that was embarrassing.
Where did it even go? God damn it. What the hell? Stay in your thing!
Ominous. Definitely. Centaurs. Cool. Oh, holy shit! Holy actual fuck! Oh my god! Alright, I'm gonna die. Woo!
Hey, if my legacy on the internet is coining the phrase doodles for dude noodles, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Woof, bark, 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 woof. Oh. Bow wow, bow wow. Ow, 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 ow.
My head, being bold as it is like an egg, and it needs to hatch. I am the furriest of eggs.
Rad, go to bed, but thank you for the host.
I love you, Rad.
I also love you, Rad.
God, that's terrible. Stop it.
Well, you stop it. You stop it.
You stop it.
No, you stop it.
Oh, you stop it. I'm so angry at you.
Fuck off. God damn it. They're kind of greenish, which is kind of nice. I mean, I don't know if I like them when I do this.
So far, I think this game has punished me for, moving past. What the hell was that?
Stop it.
Get up, get Lara. No, get. Why are you being so difficult? Okay, thank you. Jesus. Why was she being so difficult? Look, the princess wasn't that clever. Her favorite puzzle had 8 pieces. And so the pig spent quite a while figuring out what to wear and also how to walk on 2 legs and do magic and, how to put on clothes. But mostly, he couldn't be sure if he wanted to wear, something formal or more business cash, So when the pig figured that out, it was definitely, fantasy formal. He kidnapped Zelda and took her puzzle and spread the puzzle pieces all over the world. And that's how... And now Link is here because Link hates puzzling, which is why he never hung out with Zelda in the first place. 'Cause all she wanted to do was do her stupid 8-part puzzle. So he hates puzzling, but he kind of wants his pig back Because he's hungry.
Ow, I'm on fire. Shit. No! Holy shit. Oh my god. Yes! That's the sort of shit you watch this stream for, right? Oh my god, Lara's on fire in a cutscene. That's so good. Ghost Rider, yeah. She's probably gonna die though, right? After the cutscene.
I don't think I can do that. I'm not that limber.
I would like to generate some analysis.
That's a mechanism.
The analysis is that it's a mechanism.
Oh, hey, fire's off.
3, 2, 1. Oh, I'm so bad. We're way too old for that nonsense. Baby Judge Red. I am the law.
Shit. Fuck.
Robert nudges me awake.
Oh, is this the next morning?
Yep.
Oh, we just missed everything.
Well, what did you expect? Actual porn?
Yeah,
That.
kind of.
Oh my god,
Like shadows moving.
the sadness in your voice. Yeah, I want a porn.
Just some
I can't fucking stream porn on Twitch
a
though.
suggestion of something going on. This is a bit disappointing. No.
Ow! That's my eye, you dumbass. Look, allow me to live in this fantasy where everything is okay until it isn't.
This is why I have my blanket.
Boink. Ah! Oh, Jesus! Why did I do that? I could lose an eye. God, Jesus Christ, I'm an idiot. Was that a spider? Oh no! Okay, so 10 minutes? Sure. Oh, fuck you, fuck you. Oh, I'm gonna kick you so hard. Oh, no, I gotta make him be close. No, he's gonna jump on me. No! Lady Croft, I will never forgive you. I'll never, ever forgive you for this. Nobody clip that. Look at me sneaking. Look at me sneaking. You don't know how good I am at all this sneaking. This is my sneaking song.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm not failing? Fuck! Why? Oh, why would I need to jinx it? I'm the worst. Interesting. Can I? I cannot. Oh my god. This is so easy. Oh shit. No! Damn it. I don't know. Maybe this is it. It is super not it.
I like this croc sound. Sounds cute.
Yes, no, no. Yes, very much dead.
If by some miracle I get it,